Hi, this is Janet, and today we're going to be decorating a box. This is a kind of heavy-duty cardboard, I guess, box that you can get at your craft store or a dollar store. And then I'm going to be decorating with Rinea foil, but to begin with I'm going to be decoupaging with a napkin. And typically when you decoupage with a napkin you take the plies of the napkin apart, but in this case to save a step I wasn't going to paint the surface, and so I'm going to leave the layers of the napkin in place and hope that I can use that white as a coating background for working with Mod Podge. So I'm using a matte Mod Podge here and got entirely too much, so maybe I can scoop it back in the bottle a little bit. Didn't expect it to come out that fast. I'm going to show everybody makes mistakes, so let me just pick up mine and then we'll move on. Alright, there, I think we're going to be good to go. So I'm going to cover the entire surface here. I'm going to get rid of a little more. I'm going to cover the entire surface and the edges. And I'm going to center that on my tissue. Just wrap that around. Now I'm off a little bit here, so I need to move over if I can. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, I think that'll work. Alright. So I am just going to apply this to the outside and hopefully fold that into the inside and cut off some of the excess when I get to that step. And I'm going to do the same around the outside of the box. And so I will try to speed that up a little for you so you don't have to watch all this in slow motion. Alright, so I'm coating the inside as well as the outside, and hopefully I only need one layer, but we'll see. Alright, and the Rinea decoration is going to come in the form of a flower on top of our box, so that's why I am coating the outside here to begin with. And as I go, I'm pushing that tissue into place. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing to the outer edge here. going to set that off to the side to dry. Okay, I have let those dry, and actually off camera I went ahead and put a second coat of Mod Podge on the tissue just because the tissue is so delicate. I wanted to make sure it was coated well. So I've got 2 coats of Mod Podge on the tissue, and it looks like the white background is holding up well without having to paint the box white. So I'm going to move on with this process. Now what I've done off screen again is to cut the gold Rinea foil to fit on the inside to line the entire box. So when you open it up, you have a surprise with the gold foil showing up. So I am going to once again apply Mod Podge to the inside to use it as a glue, and then we will go ahead and put those pieces in place. And when I go to put these pieces in place, I'm going to put the round disc shape in first, and then the edges, because if the round disc is off by any little bit or needs to fold, I want it to hide underneath the lip of the gold foil. So hopefully that makes sense. So we've got this coated, and I'm going to take my foil piece and slip it into the top so that it glues down in place. And then I have my gold strip, which I'm going to line the edge. And I've cut this just a little bit shy of the inside measurement, so it truly fits to the inside of the lid. And I'm going to do the same technique to the bottom. Alright, so hopefully that makes sense, and any Mod Podge that is showing up here will actually dry clear. So I'm just going to move my circle around just a little bit so that it is centered, and while that looks a little bit like a mess in there right now, it's going to dry clear, and we'll have a nice metal surprise on the inside when we open the box. So I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom here. Alright, so I'm going to let that sit off to the side to dry. Let me get this out of the way. Alright, I am back with my cut Rinea foil, and this is actually a pinwheel shape that I got off of the craft shop, and I will link that down below. It's a free SVG file. I cut it on my Cricut Maker, and you can see that the color coordinates well with the tissue I used on my box. And so I'm just going to use glue dots to put this pinwheel together. And so the first thing you want to do is to cut out 2 of the same shape, and then it also comes with a center piece. And so I am going to, let's see, what did I decide? I was going to leave, yes, I'm going to leave the purple up like so, so you see more of it. And so I'm going to take my glue dot and just put some in the center, and then it says to stagger the center piece like so. And this makes a pinwheel, but it also makes a flower shape. So what I'm going to do next is just go along each of the outer edges here and bring those pieces into the center with a glue dot. And on some of them I need to alter how I bring, how I get them on top of each other. So I'm just going to work my way around the outer edge here using a glue dot on each piece. And you can see that pinwheel flower shape starting to take shape. Alright, so there is my outer shape, and then I'm going to stick a center in. Now I have an option here of choosing the purple, the gold, or I also cut out a pink. And I think I'm just going to go with the purple. And these are all from the Princess Pack of Rinea Foil. Line all that up and adjust my petals a little bit, and then my last step will be to adhere it to the outside of the box so that once it is dry, hopefully I'm not going to mess anything up here by putting this together. I'm just going real gentle, I know that the Mod Podge is not completely dry on the inside yet, and so I don't want to mess up that inner edge. I'm just gonna let that sit for a minute. I'm not gonna mess. So I am going to use a simple glue dot. Now you could use something more permanent if you wanted to. I'm just using the craft version, but you can use permanent if you want. And then I'm going to attach that to the top of the box, and then I can lift the petals up a little bit. And I thought this would make a really cute gift box for a piece of jewelry for Valentine's Day. So that was my idea or intention with this, and that you have this nice look on the outside, and then when you open it up, of course you get the surprise of the gold on the inside, as well as whatever the gift is. While the box itself could be the gift, you could also put a piece of jewelry inside. So there you have it. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial.